What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about whether or not the pump shotgun will be returning in Fortnite Season 3. This has been getting a lot of attention recently because of some recent tweets from the Fortnite Competitive account. If you guys do find this video helpful or informative, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below what you think of this. Do you think the pump shotgun is going to return, or do you think it is going to stay vaulted? So, for starters, this rumor stems from the Fortnite Comp announcement. They announced that Late Game Arena will be returning in the next update, which is August 30th. And Late Game Arena was a game mode that was universally liked, but you basically just started out at in-game. You had a certain amount of mats, and you had one of a few like predetermined loadouts, and then you essentially played out an in-game with moving zone, and you just started at the end-game point in a match. And it was really fun. It was really high action, and it was just like a fun game mode to just constantly get in fast-paced fights and get like practice in-game, as well as just constantly having action, because you kind of cut out most of the game, you know, like a lot of a BR is like you land, you loot up, and then you rotate and you get prepared for in-game. This, you start out the end game, so you just cut all of that out. And a lot of people loved this game mode, and people have wanted it back ever since Chapter 3 started. And so when they posted this, it got a lot of positive reception, and people are very excited for this. The tweet was getting a lot of interactions. And then after that, tweet had been up for a few hours and gotten a lot of positive feedback. The Fortnite Competitive account replied to their initial tweet saying this: "What a legendary reaction. We're so pumped to see you drop in at 8 a.m. Eastern time on 8/20/2020 or 8/30/2022. So they just replied to their own tweet, which already said the date and time at which this was going to be coming out. And then you'll notice with this tweet also, the words legendary and pumped are both capitalized when there is no reason for them to be. They're not like a proper noun or whatever, and then they're also not the first word in that sentence. So there's no reason for those words to be capitalized, but it was very clearly done intentionally, and then a lot of people took this and thought, okay, the pump shotgun is returning. Why else would they reply this? And while I do think the pump shotgun is returning, I don't think it's going to be returning in core Battle Royale modes. I think this tweet implies that the pump is returning, and I think it also implies that it's returning in Late Game Arena, because this reply is in reference to the Late Game Arena post. So I think in Late Game Arena, the original pump shotgun, or the Chapter 2 pump shotgun, whatever, will be in the loot pool, and you will have potential to get it when you play that game mode. But I do not think that the pump is coming back to core modes. I think that since the reply is about Late Game Arena, and they're trying to generate hype for Late Game Arena, they're probably going to unvault the pump in that game mode. But I don't think it'll be in core modes. I feel like that just doesn't really make sense, even though personally I would be happy for them to vault the striker pump and bring back the normal pump. The reason for we'll get into later on in the video. I'd be happy for that to happen, but I don't think it's necessarily going to happen. And if you think about it from like a business perspective, it doesn't necessarily make the most sense to unvault it right now if they were going to unvault it, you know? We're only 3 weeks away from the new season dropping. I think when this update goes live, we'll be like exactly 3 weeks or so from the new season launch. And if we're already that close to a new season, and if you're Epic Games and you want to unvault the pump, I feel like you might as well wait for season 4 to unvault the pump and get a lot of hype and get a lot of like positive feedback for that season. Ever since Chapter 3 started, one of the main complaints that players have had is that they want to use the original pump shotgun, and if you were to unvault it in season 4, it would get a lot of positive feedback. Look at how much hype and publicity they got just for showing the scar in last season's event. We were able to use the scar in last season's event to shoot some of the AI, and that alone got so much attention and so much feedback because people thought the scar would be returning. It turned out to not be the case, but just having it in the event generated so much excitement and hype for season 3. Unvaulting the pump would be like unparalleled level of hype and excitement for season 4, and I think that's one of the main reasons why they vault and unvault weapons so frequently, is just to like get another like batch of like hype when they bring it back. So I don't think it makes sense to unvault it in core modes, even though I would like to see it personally. I think it's only going to be returning for Late Game Arena. I just kind of wanted to post this video and talk about this subject. I got asked about it a bunch on stream, and there's some people that really think it's coming back in core modes. I feel like a lot of them have probably been misled by clickbait YouTubers, or they're just kind of going off what they want to happen and not necessarily what they think will happen. Like, a lot of people kind of confuse those two things. If they want something to happen, they think that that's the most likely outcome, and that's not always the case. And the reason why I would like them to unvault the pump, a lot of people I see online are like, who cares? The striker pump is basically the same. And while damage-wise they are pretty similar at this point, the pump still just feels so much better to use handling-wise. The pump, the normal pump, has a slightly higher fire rate than the striker pump, And it's not so different that like you can just ignore using an SMG, but this really matters in situations where you're making edit plays on people, you know? If you edit on somebody, pump them, go to reset the edit, and then make another edit again and try to pump them, sometimes with the striker pump, you can end up doing that too quickly, and I just really don't recall myself doing that with the normal pump shotgun in the past. Like, that slight difference in fire rate is really noticeable in those situations. I feel like it's also possible that the normal pump like pulls out faster when you go in between builds and edit. Like, something about the normal pump just feels so much more fluid than the striker pump. And I was pretty happy with the striker pump prior to the nerfs that happened to it this season, when they randomly nerfed it when the prime shotty came out. Prior to that, I was like somewhat happy with the striker pump, but I would still prefer the normal one. But just those handling stats being different and the fire rate being different, and also like the reload felt better on the normal pump. Like, this is going to be incredibly specific, but like when you went to reload the normal pump, if you were completely out of ammo, the moment your character's hand touched the gun, you would be able to shoot it right away, right then. Whereas like with the striker pump, it seems like you have to actually like stop reloading animation to be able to shoot again, and it just feels really clunky in those situations. And that's the main difference I would describe between the striker pump and the normal pump. Their damage is like pretty comparable at this point in time, or identical, but the striker pump still just feels so clunky to use, and that will never make it as satisfying as the normal pump. Part of what made the normal pump so fun to use was not only the high damage and the ability to one-hit kill, which has since been removed, but just how smooth and fluid it felt. And the striker pump has never felt that good, and I think that's why people have wanted the striker pump removed and the normal pump back ever since it was added. Even after several buffs to the striker pump, the normal pump just feels so much smoother and so much more fluid to use. And at the end of the day, the guns that feel nice to use are going to be the ones that people have the most fun using. But that is going to be it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think the striker pump is do you think the normal pump is going to be unvaulted in the next update? Or do you agree with me and think it's just going to be in late game arena? If you guys did enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Like, this guy has to be annoyed with me. We just keep tagging him. Both of these players should be weak. Oh, there's another guy here. That's not ideal, man. I thought I could just get that kill really easily. I forget what their statement was exactly, but it had both legendary and pump in the statement, which are kind of like words to use, weird words to use. And also, like, the L in legendary and the P in pump were capitalized for no reason at all. Like, where they weren't like the first word of that sentence. So they clearly went out of their way to use those words and have the letters be capital. So people think the pump will be returning because of that. But that statement was entirely in reference to Zero Build Arena coming back. So I think it'll be exclusive to that game mode. Also, I feel like if you're gonna bring the pump back, at this point, you might as well wait until the new season if you're Epic. Like, I would love for the pump to come back, don't get me wrong, but it's gonna generate so much more hype if it's like the start of a new season, I feel like, than just like randomly coming back this late into the season, because we only have like 3 weeks left in this season, you know? And I feel like if you're Epic, you know that bringing the pump back would get a lot of like publicity and hype, and you'd rather have that at the start of the season when a bunch of people gonna be like coming back to the game, getting the new battle pass, and like just bringing the pump back would potentially, like, you know, make some players more inclined to try the new season. If we get a slurp fish out of this, that'd be nice. W. What's up, Takeoff? But yeah, even though I'd love for the pump to come back, I don't think it's going to happen. And I feel like people on the internet really get that confused. Like, you can want one thing, but think it's unlikely, you know? Like, you'll say, like, oh yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. And people will be like, oh, so you hate the pump? Like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. I just, you know, think it's going to be in late game arena, which is a fun game mode. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Like, I enjoy playing it, but I don't really enjoy streaming it that much. But that was like one of the things that really helped me when I started playing the game again. In Chapter 2, Season 8 was late game arena was like a really easy way to just get in fights versus like good players consistently. Yeah, I have no idea, Spore. I don't know why that bug exists. To my knowledge, there's no workaround for that. Streamer loot? Oh yeah. I think I got all of these weapons aside from the green SMG by killing somebody. I don't think he can hit me with that. The other guy's behind the tree. I think this player behind the tree has no idea they're playing the game. Like, that person is in their own universe. And then this guy's going for Kamehameha Blast on me, so they're probably not the strongest player either. It's not always the case, but I feel like oftentimes when you have players, like, using or trying to get kills with things like that, they're not the most comfortable players when it actually comes to, like, playing Fortnite. And that's why they're, you know, trying their hardest to utilize those cheesy items. It's like the one win con they have. I'm just gonna go for this. Might be a mistake, but we'll see. This ramp won't lie. Oh, he got down? This is an awkward fellow, man. Has this guy shot a gun once? That's so annoying. I'm so ass at, like, taking walls and editing on this controller right now. That is, like, what I struggle with most. GG's, though.